Hi, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to BU Podcast. I hope you're having a good week. I've missed you guys and I hope you're going to enjoy. So, today's topic is going to be self confidence. It's going to be everything related to how can we cultivate that confident side of ourselves? How can we become more strong and show up in the world in a great way. Confidence is basically having trust in yourself, making sure that you have the strength and courage to pursue what you want. Self confidence is a belief that one is capable to successfully meet the demands that they set their minds to. So I hope everybody tunes into this topic because it's so interesting, honestly. I've learned about self confidence in the past 2 years, ever since I started this personal development journey, which is why I started this journal. It has been such a great experience because I have learned that without self confidence, you cannot show up in the world to friends in a positive way. So, this is going to be a short video. Just stay tuned. It's all about how to cultivate it. And the few tips I'm here to remind you are just nine. The first one is stop comparing yourself. Honestly, we live in an era where it's so hard for people to actually just be confident in themselves, just believe in themselves. Because another person's journey, especially with social media, we end up finding ourselves comparing, saying this person has achieved this and I have not. That makes that actually lowers your self esteem, which is not fun. Honestly, it's not fun. And I would just want to encourage everybody just focus on your life, focus on yourself, know what you have to do, forget about everybody else because it's you against you at the end of the day. It's you against you in this journey of working on yourself, which is our goal. Just do better than yesterday, better than next week, better than last week, just progressively. So stop comparing to yourself, learn to just love yourself and make sure that whatever you're doing is authentic. You're showing up in the world as the best way that you can more than thinking about what other people think. Another way that I have learned to cultivate self confidence in myself is honestly surrounding myself with positive people. That has played such a major, major role. I have learned so much from my friends. Honestly, shout out to y'all because my friends pour so much in me and I pour back in them. But that did not happen in a blink of an eye. It took some time. It honestly did. I had to lose some friends, gain some when I'm doing something wrong, and they tell me when I'm doing something great, and vice versa. I think that's what the power of friendship is. It's just working to make sure that you're propelling the other person to become the better version of themselves, and they are doing the same. So it's a two-way street. So friendship play an important role. Also, family. Make sure try to have a supportive family because when you have a supportive family, it becomes much much easier and easier to navigate, and they check you and yeah, so make sure you're investing in the right environment, friends that help you, not people that put you down, not people that lower your self esteem, not people that talk negatively. Forget the gossip, forget the negative talking about people, because that doesn't fuel you, honestly. And it will not matter in the next day or so. So entertain better conversations, work on yourself, and see that you are trying to show up better, even when the people around you are not doing the best that they can in terms of showing up. Just make sure you're doing your part because it'll take you a long way and you become more confident. You have those people that you talk about things and you're like, wow, this conversation has left me wowed because it's people who check you. They ask you those good questions, those things that make you check yourself, not always, small talk and stuff. So the surrounding plays a big part. The third point that I would say that helps you cultivate self confidence is taking care of yourself. This is a major, major, major one, and I will emphasize on that. Self confidence, in terms of taking care of yourself, I would like to categorize it in three ways: diet, exercise, and rest. I'll start with diet. I have learned that you are what you eat. Literally, you are what you eat. And this is from my own experience. When I eat foods that help me feel better, for example, salads once in a while, the greens, because they keep health wise, they keep the gut healthy. And when your gut is healthy, it helps you feel more strong. You feel it regulates your hormones as well, and which regulates the way you show up and how you feel. Your mood basically becomes more calm. But if you're eating a lot of sugary stuff, unhealthy, it affects your hormones, it affects your mood. And then you see someone is constantly grumpy and you're like, why is this person always mad. Why is this person? It's probably what they eat. What they ask them, when was the last time you had some greens? Things that give you energy, some good carbs, some good protein. So all those things they have helped me learn how to cultivate self-confidence. And I think I've had so many people write to me on my socials asking me, how can I become more confident? I have low self-esteem. It all starts with you. It all starts with the little decisions you make in your life. So if you're not willing to do these adjustments, honestly, it's going to be hard. So I'd advise you to just focus on what you eat, make sure it's healthy, and you'll feel great, honestly. Another one I would say, oh, in terms of exercise, when you exercise, you feel strong. The stronger you are, the more you can take on work, think clearly at work, show up well. It gives you a good dopamine that's not coming from this other bad dopamine, for example, scrolling through your phone. That releases a dopamine in our bodies. But also, working out releases good dopamine, which gives you energy. It gives you a boost in your mood. So it's good to make sure that you're focusing on these things. Also, and the last one is sleep. In terms of health, you have to get enough sleep. When you're not able to rest, it happens. We get busy with work and stuff, but when you can, take some time to rest after a hectic week of working. It helps you recalibrate, it keeps you balanced, and you get your thoughts right. I have had times where I haven't rested enough and it has affected my work environment. It has affected the people around me. So I would advise everybody to just honestly focus on resting enough on a regular basis. Yes, have your busy seasons, but have time to take rest. Rest is different for many people. It can be either sleeping, it can be going to a place and you just listen to music calmly for like an hour or two. Find those things that work for you to help you rest your mind because, as we know, our mind is the engine and we need to take good care of it. And another fourth point that I would say that has helped me learn to cultivate confidence is being kind to myself. I used to be so harsh and mean to myself through my negative self-talk. Like, oh, you were not able to achieve this. Oh my God, you're a failure. You are this. All that affects your self-confidence. But if you fail at something and you figure it out, you're like, oh, actually, I have failed at this, but we try again next time. We go again next time. It's okay. Failures are here to propel me to try again. There are lessons. It's not like it's the end of the world, all these things. So it becomes a work in progress, it becomes a journey. So I would advise everybody here to be kind to yourself. Watch what your thoughts tell you. Our minds can literally they can take us in a pit hole. And boy, do I know that. I know that so well because I've experienced it. I've had times where I wasn't aware of these things until I had to educate myself, which is why I started this channel to just express things through my experience that I wish I knew ahead of time. And it has been a great journey. I cannot complain, honestly. Um, through through being kind to yourself, you develop a mindset of positive thinking. Even when you are in a rut, you're stressed out of work, you're having issues with maybe somebody in your life, you be kind, you develop this kindness to yourself and the positive self-talk. You're like, okay, I feel this way, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, it's just a feeling, it's an emotion, it will go away. You sit with it, you work through it, or you realize that it's just a negative pattern that you have, and you're like, oh, this is me doing my thing again. Let me catch myself and do better. Okay. So that has helped me develop the self-confidence that I need. Another part that has immensely helped me develop my self-confidence is facing my fears. It's a journey. It's really, really not easy, to be honest. It's not easy because facing your fears is dark. It's a dark place. You face your ego, number one. You see your insecurities and they come up. When you're ready to take that journey, it's not easy. It becomes a bit hard because you're like, actually, these are my red flags. These are the bad things that I have on myself. Instead, that's why I always say, do not point fingers at other people because there's three more pointing at you because everybody has their own insecurities. They have their own red flags. They have their own triggers. But if you don't work through them, if you don't notice them when they come up, you won't be able to become a better version of yourself. And becoming a better version of yourself, you become more confident, which is what we are discussing right now. So I would advise everybody to just take a season where you're facing your fears. You it's not easy, but you get to learn what triggers you. You get to learn your negative tendencies. I have learned a lot of mine, and they're not good, but it's a journey. I have learned that everybody is a work in progress. Honestly, let's learn just not to judge people because everyone is on a different path, everyone's on a different journey. I was on my own journey, healing journey. Actually, I've done a healing journey and it wasn't fun, but it's worth it. That's why I'm standing here feeling a bit more compassionate for the people around me. So I would advise you to take the time to actually realize your insecurities and your fears, your those dark sides of yourself. Take time to know them so that when they come up, you know how not to entertain them. Because the more you entertain a thought, the longer it stays in you, and the more you realize that it's a part of you, it becomes a part of you, and you react to it. And then later on, you go on and you're like, why did I react in this way? Instead of taking the time and saying, okay, I am getting in a rut. This is my fear coming up. I am not going to let it take over. I am stronger than this, which comes to that self talk, becomes a fun way of living life. But it takes work, it's work in progress. The seventh one I would say is uh, know when to say no. Learn when to say no. You cannot always say yes to people. You cannot always agree to everything just to please people. Know when to set boundaries with people because once you learn how to set boundaries with human beings, it will give you so much peace, guys. Like I've learned that it's not good. Not everybody's gonna like you for it, but I've learned that setting boundaries and saying no to certain things that don't align with where I'm at or where I'm heading or a certain thing I'm working on. You can say it in a polite way. Say I'm not ready for it, but thank you for the offer, or learn to say I'm not okay with you doing this. Please, next time, work on this. It might hurt the other person, but it gives you so much peace. So learn when to say no, and it will boost your confidence immensely. I'm speaking out of experience. Guys, please just take that as, yeah. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to always say yes to everybody, say yes to things. Oh, someone tells me, go here, do this, you have this program and stuff. But no, I have learned to take care of myself and I've learned how to say no when it's necessary. So learn that. Another the eighth point I would say is setting realistic goals. Sometimes we become our own enemies, to be honest, in terms of we set crazy goals thinking that I have to achieve them. And when you don't achieve them, you get angry with yourself. You become disappointed in yourself, which makes you have a negative self esteem. You feel like you're a failure and stuff. But I have learned that in terms of setting goals, set realistic ones, set small ones that can propel you to get you to the bigger one. But if you set the bigger one right now, it becomes unrealistic for you to attain it without taking the baby steps that can help you um, get to where you want to be. And last but not least, that I always preach about is loving yourself. All of this falls under the umbrella of loving yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you work on those insecurities, the more you're kind to yourself, the more you set realistic goals, the more you know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, which brings you to creating more boundaries and everything that you're working on. It's a great experience. So love yourself, cultivate that confidence from within, and it will show in the world. It has worked for me. These have worked. Of course, it's a work in progress. You get your ups and downs, but my downs are lower than my ups in terms of this journey. So I would advise everybody to take heed and focus on becoming more confident, showing up in society, because the way you show up in this world is the way people are going to take you. That I've learned as well. So develop that self confidence. Know that you are worth it. Know that fill your cup, become whole before you expect it from other people. And that will get you far. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to have you guys next weekend for a new episode. Thank you. This is BU with Belize Umuhoza. Check out my socials at Belize Umuhoza with a flag. And that's on my Instagram. On my Twitter is the same. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend.